Good afternoon, version. It's
Hi,
okay.
Thomas.
It's okay.
Version, it's okay. Well, Merci. Tamas. Good afternoon, Tamas. It's okay? Okay. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for your invitation.
Yeah, thanks for joining. It's great.
Yeah, so it's a good opportunity to learn more about your association.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Fernando.
Hola, Fernando.
Hello. And
I'm impressed.
can you see the marking time?
It's not 3 o'clock yet, and we have already quite a good number of participants. Fantastic.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Hello, Vanya.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, fine. It's sunny also in Germany, and that's in November. So.
Very sunny. Good afternoon, you right? Excuse me for the pronouns.
Hello, how are you? Your pronunciation
Fine,
is perfect.
fine. Good afternoon, Sarah and Cosima.
Ciao Vanya. Ciao.
So,
Hello everyone.
hi, Cosima.
And Sarah, it's okay? Sarah, ok. Buongiorno a tutto il team di Anasf. Vi ho visto entrare.
Hello. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hi everyone.
Good afternoon, Sarah. Hi, Kay. Frank.
Hi, Janet.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Vanya, should we wait another couple of minutes to see if some people are joining late before we start?
Yeah. Roger.
Roger?
Okay.
Yes. Hello.
Emilio. Buongiorno, Ferruccio. Hello, Paul. Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, good to see you.
Roger.
everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Joseph.
Hello, Cosima.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
Hey,
Hi, Kenny.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Two minutes and we will start. Okay.
We should have some music to
Some
use
waiting music?
during these silence periods. Some escalator music, yeah, to have a good feeling around it here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
it's in the telephone. Usually it was quite annoying, that music.
Yes, it was.
While you were waiting, frankly. Then personally, I prefer not. If you choose well, okay, but please choose a nice
Okay,
music.
No pressure, Joseph, please. No pressure.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Fantastic. We just attend only David.
I'm not sure David would be.
Minutes,
Yeah.
and we start.
Yeah, maybe we can start
The
in a
Grand
minute.
Prix. For to have more time for round table. If you agree, I start. Okay?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself to those who don't know me. My name is Vania Franceschelli, and I am the chairwoman of FECIF. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to presentation of the FECIF White Book 2025, a strategic publication that takes a comprehensive look at the financial advisory sector in Europe and outlines a clear vision for its future development. Before we begin, let me briefly outline the structure of today's video call. Please also note that this call will be recorded. A recording will be archived by FECIF. Today we'll start with an overview of the FECIF White Book 2025, followed by a discussion on the key trends shaping the financial sector, from the evolution of the Capital Market Union, CMU, to the emerging Savings and Investment Union, SIU, as well as sustainability, digitalization, and pensions. Finally, we conclude with a review of the policy recommendations that emerge from this work. This white book is much more than a report. It's the result of over a year of research, collaboration, and reflection on the challenges and opportunities shaping our profession. Our objective was to go beyond statistics and regulations to capture the real dynamics, aspiration, and concerns of financial advisors and their clients across Europe. On the screen, you can now see a snapshot of our analysis. We choose Italy, the countries that are represented in FECIF, to give you a vision of how the country-by-country analysis and the White Book is structured. The 2025 White Book presents a detailed overview of the 30 different European countries, the 27 EU member states, and Andorra, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. For each country, we present first the organization of financial advice in the domestic market, and then we focus on three main areas: sustainability, retirement planning, and digitalization, and the new financial assets. This quantitative analysis is complemented by the qualitative overview of the country's economic data and its situation in terms of financial and non-financial assets. Together, these sections give you a detailed outlook into the country's situation and current trends. To achieve this, we conducted 20 in-depth interviews with experts, including 11 FECIF members, to reach a full vision of 30 different European countries, the 27 EU member states, and Andorra, Switzerland, and United Kingdom. Each conversation was guided by the 10 key questions, allowing us to explore the three major macro themes that define the evolution of financial advice today: digital transformation, sustainability, and retirement planning. This ambitious project was made possible thanks to the valuable support of Cattaneo, Zanetti, Pomposi and Company and CMI Strategies, whose expertise helped us structure and analyze the wealth of insight gathered throughout this process. The result is a document that not only examines key trends and emerging challenges, but also offers concrete insights and recommendations for both professional and policymakers to ensure that financial advice continues to play its essential role in serving citizens and strengthening Europe's financial ecosystem. Please allow me to give you a general introduction of the 2025 FECIF White Book. This publication is a FECIF flagship study, a benchmark publication that reflects the depth of our commitment to advancing the quality, professionalism, and recognition of financial advice in Europe. It aims to provide a picture of the financial consulting market in Europe, capturing its diversity, its strengths, and the challenges it faces amid rapid transformation. The 2025 FECIF White Book is above all an advocacy tool, giving voice to the needs and perspectives of financial advisors and their clients, and ensuring they are heard at the European level. It's also a tool to inform policymakers, especially those of the European Union, because it provides evidence-based insights and concrete proposals to help shape effective and balanced regulation. Moreover, the FECIF White Book is a living document designed to evolve as the sector evolves, continuously updated with the new data, perspectives, and experience. In this sense, the White Book is not only a reflection of where we stand today, it's also a guide to where we want to go tomorrow. The 2025 White Book looks at the key trends shaping the future of financial services in Europe, with a particular focus on the role of financial advice in addressing citizens' complex needs. When we look at the evolution of the financial sector, we see that the industry is undergoing major transformation. At a time when the EU is promoting a shift from the capital market union to the saving and investment union, SIU, aimed at improving capital allocation and supporting economic growth. In this broader evolutionary trend, we also see an attention to digitalization, technological innovation, AI, blockchain, robo-advisory is redefining financial services, enhancing efficiency and accessibility, but also requiring new regulatory approaches to ensure security and consumer protection. Similarly, the sector has been paying attention to sustainability and reinvestment. The adoption of ESG criteria is a top priority, yet the challenge remains to balance financial returns with sustainability goals. Regulatory simplification is needed to foster more effective investments in the ecological transition. Finally, an important area of work is pension and retirement planning. Demographic aging threatens the sustainability of pension system. The EU must encourage private retirement savings and enhance financial literacy to ensure adequate pension for future generations. Let us first start with some consideration of the capital market union and trends in capital market in the EU. In our research, we have found that investment habits are very different in each member state and show strong national trends. This is particularly important point that the 2025 White Book makes, because it dwells into each country to take a close look at the situation there. In fact, the White Book is built with a country-specific analysis, as well as an horizontal analysis that take a look at transversal topics, and aims to be representative of the overall situation in the EU and the member states. Our research reveals a general sense of dissatisfaction, or naturally regarding the tangible outcomes of CMU relating policies. While there have been efforts to foster a true cross-border flow of capital and integrate European markets, the reality remains that we are still far from realizing the vision of purely unified capital market within the EU. Many respondents note that the CMU policies have had a little or not measurable impact or increasing capital market participation, or facilitating a true cross-border flow of capital between European countries. Moreover, the increase in regulatory output has only compounded the bureaucracy burden rather than streamlining the financial ecosystem. These challenges suggest that the CMU is still in its early stage, and much work remains to be done to create a genuinely integrated European capital market. Our research also highlights that the investment focus and behavior of investors can vary significantly from country to country. In certain countries, investors' priorities and preference reflect a strong attention to the domestic and national element. Belgium and Poland are two examples that we bring to you today of this trend, which is common for all big-sized countries. On the contrary, smaller countries show interest in attracting foreign investors, especially through innovative products and services. Cyprus and Luxembourg are two notable examples of this. In addition, our research extends also to non-EU countries, such as Switzerland and the UK. With regard to these factors of the EU, we note that local specificities are strong and reflect the history of the industry in these countries. Naturally, they are engaged with capital flows from and to EU, and thus able to comment on the evolution of CMU. Another important dimension exploring the 2025 FECIF White Book is sustainability. Specifically, we have looked at the integration of sustainability consideration into financial advice. The findings, we have the new, thank you. The findings reveal a significant shift towards the inclusion of sustainability in financial advisory practices. A larger proportion of financial advisors have embraced sustainability considerations when providing their services, reflecting the increased awareness on environment and social issues that affect both investment strategies and broader societal well-being. However, the research also uncovers a deep skepticism surrounding ESG issues. While there is a growing emphasis on sustainability, it's evident that many clients remain primarily focused on the return of their investments rather than the broader impact of their choices. This is a critical challenge for the financial advisory industry, and advisors strive to balance the growing demand for responsible investment options with the desire for stronger financial performance. Despite these challenges, it's clear that the focus on sustainability has been gaining momentum in recent years across all countries involving the staff. This marks an important shift, but one that will require continued efforts to align client interests with the long-term sustainable outcomes. The third theme that we present to you today is digitalization. The rapid adoption of technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, and blockchain is transforming the financial advisory landscape. These innovations are enabling more dynamic interactions and personalized advice, enhancing the client experience and improving decision-making. However, the pace of digital adoption varies significantly across Europe. While some markets have embraced these tools swiftly, others still face infrastructural and cultural barriers that slow progress. As digitalization accelerates, it also brings an responsibility. The sector must ensure robust regulatory frameworks and maintain the highest standards of data protection and cybersecurity to build trust and safeguard consumers in an increasingly connecting financial ecosystem. The last theme that we present to you today is connected to pensions and solutions for sustainable retirement. The White Book highlights as significant issues the lack of awareness and engagement with the sustainability of pension systems across various European countries. Our research indicates that a large proportion of individuals remain uninformed or insufficiently incentivized to invest in their pensions, which poses a serious risk to their future financial security. The situation varies considerably across countries, with some case studies revealing distinct national trends. For instance, in Austria, most individuals rely heavily on state pensions, and very few have supplementary private pension schemes. This can be attributed to the strong public trust in the state pension system, which unfortunately has led to limited public discourse around the challenges facing the pension system in the future. Similarly, in Spain, pension strategies are often influenced by politics, with many politicians avoiding discussion about demographic challenges and the future purchasing power of pension. As a result, many citizens are not saving enough for retirement, with much of the investment being funneling into real estate rather than pension schemes. In France, a similar pattern emerges, where people often prioritize purchasing a home as their primary retirement strategy, securing their home for use in old age. In contrast, Switzerland stands out a more virtuous example, where a robust pension system is in place, ensuring better long-term sustainability. However, even in advanced economies like Luxembourg, challenges persist within the pension system, suggesting that no country is fully immune to the pressures that come with ensuring the sustainability of pensions. Coming from Italy, I am very well aware of a dire situation of the Italian pension scheme, with the supposed data for a heavy stress test set at 2030, where the number of retired people will surpass that of actively employed people. I can testify that supporting customers and citizens in identifying sustainable solutions for retirement has been an important priority for the Italian Association of Financial Advisors, which are representing FECIF. The dire outlook on the future of pension also pushes us to consider how we should support the development of the so-called circular economy, another important area of work for myself and my team. These findings underscore the need for increased financial education, greater incentives for pension savings, and more robust public-private partnerships to address pension sustainability on a European scale. We now give the floor to Simon Kobloch, who will present our main finding. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanya. Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. As Vanya has presented to you, we have an extremely rich set of information that we have gathered from all of you throughout Europe on the state of household savings and financial advice. And of course, every country is different. Households have their own preoccupations. The structure of the pension system is different. The structure of the products that people are used to have is different. The structure of advice is different. The regulation is different. The language mostly is different. Even within the same country, it can be different. But there are a number of things that we were not to say surprised, but impressed to see that it came out so clearly throughout our analysis across Europe. The first thing, again, I'm stating the obvious. It will probably seem obvious to each of you for within your country, but it's interesting to see how it translates at the pan-European level. The first thing is, we know that, but European households are big savers. Not quite at Japanese level, but next to Japanese, we are probably the world champions in savings. When I say big savers, that means throughout Europe, European households hold 45 trillion euros in financial assets. It's a huge amount of money, enormous. Plus next to it, they have a comparable amount that's invested in real estate. Okay, that's not as liquid, and so we have not considered it. But European households are sitting on a huge pile of wealth. It is very different from country to country. The savings rates are much higher in countries that are more mature and in countries that are richer. Not surprisingly, the savings rate is much higher in Luxembourg than it will be in Romania, but still, it is a trend throughout the continent. The other thing, we know well, is part of the, we've all studied that at university, and we hear it from our clients. People save more when they're worried. People save when they have the means to save, just mentioned the rich countries, but they also save more when they're worried. And why are people worried? They're worried because there's instability throughout the world, at the gates of Europe, the eastern gates of Europe, because of behavior on the other side of the Atlantic is something sometimes unsettling as well, and mostly because of the aging population. So on one level, we can hear that people say, well, speaking from France, it's pretty obvious. People sound like they are refusing to change, refusing to adapt to the new realities in the changing the pension age, for example. But in parallel, individuals are reacting and they are saving, they're putting money aside. When we put together the information that you, the experts in your respective countries, have gathered and raised to us, we realized that overall, European households have put aside 12 to 15 trillion euros. Again, nearly 15,000 billion euros. It's a huge amount of money in what we call assets for retirement, for want of a better word. That's money that people are putting aside. It's, if you want mental accounting, people are putting that money, they're keeping it safe for retirement. It's not in a pension product, because in most countries, you don't really have the legal or the tax system that allows people that incentivize pension savings, but it's still savings that are put aside for retirement. Now, in a way, the bad news is most of that money is actually invested in short-term liquid capital guaranteed products, which is good in terms of liquidity. That's what people are worried about, but it's not so good in terms of the long-term value creation. And there's, in many ways, we see a confusion in the mind of European households as to what a safe investment means. people want safe investment, but is it safe what is safe for an investment that will still be valuable in 25 years, or an investment that I can take out from one day to the next? These two different types of safety, two different types of security that are at the heart of the question that financial advisors have to help their clients with. And when we look at the amount of money that has been invested here, it's clear to us that that supports the findings of the Draghi report and the Letta report that say Europe needs to invest more in its digitalization, in the energy and carbon transition, and in preparing for the future. The good news is that money exists. It is there. It is in the hands of European households. It can be reinvested and redirected. And when you hear that the continent will need, hundreds of billions every year, but 100 billion is only 1% of these assets for retirement. Not an impossible amount to mobilize. So the order of magnitude is there. The possibility to redirect that money to the right types of investment, it's a matter not just, I would argue, for the politicians, because we see regulators that are starting to take steps to make that possible. What is most important, we all believe, and that's what we've heard as a consensus for all the participants in this survey, is that this is best put in the hands of the financial advisors. It's much better to enable the financial advisors to help their clients come to their own decisions when they want to make this shift, rather than say all of a sudden there'll be a central decision to relocate money in this direction. And again, I know I'm stating the obvious, but the whole point for this report is we can use them to provide a solid, grounded background of facts to support our advocacy messages towards regulators. And they can also be used by each of you in your efforts, in your advocacy efforts, in your countries, to say, look, I'm not the only one seeing that. All my colleagues in other countries are seeing similar trends or different trends. We have facts and figures to support our arguments. Any, questions, reactions? And always use the raise your hand facility on the seat. I know it's a bit awkward in this online presentations, trying to give the floor mic back to the audience, but I feel it's important that we get reactions from people around the room, or the virtual room, so to say.
Okay.
Anybody wants to react on that?
Yeah, the next step, the 20. Okay. Thank you, Simon.
Wow.
And
Okay. We can react after the policy recommendations.
yeah, we would like to conclude today's presentation by sharing the policy recommendations the FECIF makes the FECIF White Book 2025. FECIF proposes a series of measures to support the financial advisory sector and improve access to financial services across Europe. Overall, there are our priorities. We believe that the EU should strengthen the regulatory framework that supports the work of financial advisors, in particular by recognizing their social role. We also believe in promoting digitalization with a balanced regulatory approach. We call on the public institution to invest in financial education to increase citizens' awareness and understanding, in line with the recent financial literacy strategy promoted by the European Commission. We also urge the EU to streamline bureaucracy in order to facilitate investment and retirement planning. Finally, We believe that the EU institution should involve financial advisors in the development of the new savings and investment union as EU to a greater extent because of the role that we as professionals bring to the development of the continent's economy. Before closing this presentation, I would like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to all those who made the FECIF White Book 2025 possible. Many thanks go to our partners, Catania, Zaneto, Popos & Co. And CMI Strategies for their invaluable support throughout this ambitious project. Most importantly, a heartfelt thank you goes to the experts and professionals from across Europe who took part in our interviews. I see many of you here today with us. I personally thank each of you for sharing your knowledge, experience, and vision for the future of financial advice. Your contributions have been essential in turning this white book into a truly collective effort, one that reflects the diversity, commitment, and strength of our community. Thank you for being here with us today, and we will now open the floor for questions and commentaries by the participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
30 minutes, we have the presentation. A little prospect of white book because 113 pages. Yeah. Is the final version.
Yeah, it looks like
but we have no time for to present all. Round table. Simon, this is
now,
for
Roger,
you.
you wanted to react.
Yes. What I am on mute or not? No, I'm not.
No, we
That's
can
good.
hear you.
Yes, okay, good. First of all, it's very, very interesting. What I like is this presentation with slides because it has a very much a human slides compared to the whole white paper handbook who has over 100 pages. Do we have access to both documents? Do I understand it right? We will receive these slides, which are a very interesting short version. And do you receive the big one? Because the big one is interesting because it goes into the granularity, which we didn't have for obvious reasons, because we needed to have just an helicopter. We will get both. This was my very simple question.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And the second point is the words. I'm not totally surprised by the themes that came out from the 30 countries. It's very much about this period of big transformation related to digitalization, who has to be very much high on the map, very important on pension, which is a topic which comes all the time. And finally, I said digitization, pension, and the ESG, the sustainability. These are the three very big themes that we all have in mind. And happily and luckily, they come back here with FECIF, because if not, we would all have some type of problems running in the head with different topics which are not the same. So it's a very clear alignment. It's really where we are. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Roger. Important points you're making. Maybe if I can just react on that and send the mic over to Kevin to react on the sustainability and ESG part. It's again, I know you've been following that very closely from the start, Kevin. I suppose you're not surprised to see that at the same time we have, if not a backlash, a little bit of a step back from consumers, households, but the underlying movement from advisors and I guess from providers as well, that ESG is actually something that is being built and it's here to stay? You're on mute, Kevin.
I think very much the world, the consumer, and the regulators know that ESG is going to be here to stay. I think definitely, as you've said, we've all said in the past, there has been a step back in recent times that makes it difficult. But I think with all of these issues, the SIU and sustainability, financial advisors can play a crucial role. And I think in this sense of sustainability and ESG, we need to work close with the regulators. And that's on the basis that the regulations sometimes are not encouraging consumers to go in the direction that they'd like to do, and that the regulators would like them to move in, and they make the process difficult to an extent. And we'd like to see that path smoothed. And that means, if you like, regulations that are fairly difficult for the financial advisor to follow, mean that they will not encourage it openly with their clients because it's too difficult for them to understand where they're supposed to go. They don't have the technology or necessarily the expertise to follow it through into models. And if they do take it through into models, quite often we've got portfolio management, separate portfolio management companies who may not want to take on board that client because the clients are encouraged then to take a very personalized view of what they'd like to see in their portfolios, which discourages portfolio investment. So we've got a couple of instances there where the regulations can actually block the overall objective rather than encouraging it.
I guess, as usual, we want light regulation rather than the heavy kind. We all live better with that, especially when it's trying to impose a pan-European response to what is often a specific local situation. Unless, I don't know, there are any other reactions? Oh, St. John, you wanted to react? You are on mute now.
Mute as well.
You're on mute, St. John.
Fiona, you are on mute.
Good. I just wanted to say that the White Book may give us an opportunity to engage with regulators on the basis that the role of financial advisors is more than just product-based. One of the biggest problems that I believe that the regulators have is that financial advices or the regulations are product centric. So rather than looking at a holistic needs of clients, because you're focusing on the individual products, advisors tend to concentrate on individual products instead of looking at the whole needs of the client right across the range. And that is preventing a more whole advice to the client. So, for example, with the whole issue about pensions, it's often not discussed as part of the whole financial planning needs of a client. It's discussed separately, a bit like mortgages, and so on. So, and that's very much due to the way that the regulations are framed. It would be far better if the advisor was put at the center of the regulation and that the regulation allowed the advisor to provide the advice more holistically to their clients across a range, instead of concentrating on the products, actually concentrate on the advice itself, making sure that clients get a broad range of advice and looks at their needs and their objectives. At the moment, I don't feel the regulation does that. And the White Book, that's the message that came across to me from the White Book. Or at least the presentation of the White Book.
Yeah. Thank you, St. John. That's very, very interesting, very telling. if I may put even the client at the heart of the regulation, not the household at the heart of regulation.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting points that you're raising in your comment, I think it's important for us at FECIF to seize that as well, is that and as we mentioned earlier in the overview of the household assets, it's not just financial advice. It's financial advice or advice on financial investment. It's advice on real estate, advice on mortgage, advice on credit, advice on insurance, all the different dimensions of the security or financial security, if you will, of households must be taken into consideration. And depending on the regulation, country by country, some of these are open to advice, some are not open to advice, some are purely distributed. And I think it's important for us at FECIF to be very open-minded about the types of advice that we want to consider. In the same way as we're very open about the status of the advisors, whether they distributors or fully independent or fee-based or commission-based, all sorts of business models exist, and they usually have a good reason to exist in their respective countries.
Sure.
Maybe to turn to the third point that was raised beyond, which was about the impact of digitalization and artificial intelligence. Frank, I know that you've run a survey in Germany among your membership. What you've heard here from the White Book, is it in line with what you've heard from your local research in Germany, or if not, what was different?
First of all, we found out in Germany that around 30% of all the financial advisors use some kind of AI, at least on a weekly basis. And this was astonishing for us because we thought it was already more advisors using AI. This could be due to the GDPR regulation, but I think it's also due to the fact that our average age, I mean, I'm 56, so I can say this. So our average age of our independent financial advisors, is 53. And a lot of our members and advisors say, okay, at this point in time of my professional career, I don't want to get introduced in this kind of AI or technique. So they just keep on working the way they did it for the last 10 or 15 years. But the younger independent financial advisors, they are very much into AI and use it for their daily work. And just try to keep all the bureaucracy down and use AI for this, and now have more time to spend it with their customers and take care of their customers and take care of their needs, and be some kind of conductor in regards of their financial needs and insurance issues.
And many thanks, Frank, for your newsletter. Tomorrow we will have in our new website your editorial on AI. Very interesting in German. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanya. I appreciate it.
Any other questions? Is too clear?
Yes.
No.
Roger again. Yes, please.
You have a lot of questions today.
No, it's just related to what Frank said, because I'm very interested in that one, and also somewhere also concerned by that one. But digitalization in the very broad sense of the word, did the White Book also address these new emerging trends, or they are not so more emerging, but still quite new for the independent financial advisor, related to tokenization, to Bitcoin, to the emergence of the digital euro in 2029, as Madame Lagarde just said. Are these different points somewhere addressed in the white book, or is it purely a part on artificial intelligence and less on the crypto type of community?
Well, there are questions coming up about digital assets, not just, so there's two things. I agree with you, Roger. You have the use of digital tools in the advice itself, and then you have the advice on digital assets, which is a completely separate question. I know that at least Anasf had looked into that in France. I don't know if David and Emilio want to react on that.
Sorry, on what? So, absolutely. Sorry.
Sorry, on the emergence of crypto assets and the difficulty there is in advising customers on digital assets.
Yeah, we are working on that. We got but from my understanding is that we got a problem because politics needs us to have cryptos, and our regulators don't think so. So they are doing their best in order for us to not to be able to advise any cryptos when we are financial advisors, or let's say for some of you financial planners. Okay, so they were creating some new rules, and those rules are not within MiCA regulation. So to be honest, we are a little bit afraid about that. Because our association has members, some financial advisors, some financial planners, and for the first time, one sort of asset class is not clearly something we can advise, and potentially not something we can work as an intermediary also. So we are discussing yet with our regulator about that, because it's definitely not what we understood from the politics point of view, and it's, well, in fact, they are leading us to an advice on cryptos through funds, IFM or UCITS, and not on a direct investment. So it's totally crazy. We can't understand that, but it's like that. We will potentially have a new meeting and a new information in a couple of weeks, the 9th of December, and many stakeholders, their groups were created and won by Anasf, but it's not the only one in France, because we're not in an agreement with the regulatory point of view. We Anasf, but not only we Anasf. The business world is not in agreement with the position of our regulator. And our regulator on insurance said a few weeks ago, there will never be some unit linked within a life insurance product based on cryptos. But why? Sorry, but it's not the text. We don't know why to say that, and we don't know from where it comes. So we have a special period of time in France about cryptos. So, and 50% of our inhabitants are ready to invest into cryptos. So
yeah, so it is a topic that is rising in France, and as I think it is in other countries. And I think it's the role of FECIF to facilitate dialogue between the associations on that, and to have the support. Most often, with the support of our friends from Catania Zeneto and Pomposo, what we do is we put to our to our own policy group, if you want, all the consultations that are coming out of Brussels, whether it's from the Commission or from the regulators or others, to say, okay, we have these questions that is being raised. Who among the associations wants to contribute and participate? But maybe on this one, even if there is no consultation, it might be worth having a straw poll at the next policy meeting to see if there are other participants who want to contribute to a joint paper on that topic.
I allow me to come back because it's still my question. It's interesting, and I'm talking here to Cosima. The Swiss government has launched a consultation about the regulatory framework for digital assets in Switzerland. And it is important that I will be involved in these thoughts, because it's important when we have national what is it, the English word, when consultation, it's a consultation before basically going to a parliament in order to vote. So that's a consultation. It's very important that organizations around FECIF in our member countries, they participate to these consultations.
Indeed.
And typically in Switzerland, I will be involved in the working group, which will begin to work next week, preparing a document which will go to the government, because the vote at Parliament will probably be somewhere in 2026 or in 27. But it's important so we can give our opinion.
Yeah. Thanks, Roger. So we have clearly the Swiss working on this, the French working on this. I suspect there will be other associations that are involved in these topics, and maybe we can, at the next policy or the monthly policy and consultation meeting that we have, we can put that on the table and list all the members who are involved on this point, so we can bring we can pool our minds and get contributions together, if that's okay with you, Cristiano and Paolo.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks very much on that. Interesting point. Other points, other reactions that in the room? Yes, Frank, sorry.
Yeah, just a question. I have to apologize. I had audio issues at the beginning. So is it possible that you not only share the slides of the presentation, but I think the script, Vanya, that you read?
Recording, yeah.
The recording? That would be fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Yes, I think we can do that. Any other reaction? Maybe if I may, Vanya, will allow me to ask our new participants, say Tamas or Rachel or Diamond, you didn't get into you. Not used to these FECIF discussions. First reactions, first impression?
Thank you. I'm just an observer now because it's, you know, too much impression, too much information, and you know we are planning to join you, but I'm just collecting data which is necessary for the decision making. And thank you for the invitation. Really, it was, I really appreciate it, and I do hope that this event will help us to make the necessary steps to join you.
Great, we'll be happy to welcome you. Make sure we will send you the invitation to the policy and consultation committee as well for these hands-on discussions if you're interested.
Thank you.
Other comments, reactions?
Say hello to everyone. Myself, Dermot Kelly of Brokers Ireland, CEO, and here as well as Rachel McGovern, who's Deputy CEO. Our organisation is Life and General, or Financial Services and General Insurance, but we are dominantly financial services, and and we took part in the White Book, and we're happy to be here and contribute and share a lot of the analysis that you mentioned there as well. We are members of BIPAR as well, and we advocate through that avenue there. But I suppose a lot of the organizations here would be a lot more like us as such. So we do look forward to a closer relationship with you going forward. Yeah, a lot of the issues that you mentioned there will be on our agenda, and we'd be happy to contribute to whatever work you're doing in that area.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we can. We'll also include you in the circulation list for the Policy and Consultations Committee, so that you can help us with the nitty-gritty as well. We'll drag you in. Don't worry. We'll. There's plenty of work. There's plenty to share, and it's again, we're probably much more effective when we can pool thoughts and perspective from more countries.
Excuse me, but I have a little problem with themes. Excuse me to hold.
That's okay. We still see you and hear you, even though you pretend to be Anna. We know you're Vanya.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Any more comments? Oh, St. John, yes.
So I just wanted to say thank you to yourself and Vanya and the team for putting this together. There's a huge amount of content here, and it gives us an opportunity to take this document to a wide range of other organizations, including the regulators and including politicians, and having something to talk about that perhaps we didn't have to talk about before. So thank you very much. I think it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, St. John. Yeah, the document will be made available electronically, but we plan to have a printed version probably sometime in the new year, and with an event, a physical event in Brussels to launch the book itself. But the content will be available to you all first. Sorry, Sarah, you wanted to?
Yes, hello everyone. I just wanted to also to echo that, and thank you very much, and also for being able to participate in this, and thank you for a very good presentation. I look forward to continue the discussions on this. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Oh, Fernando.
First of all, it's very impressive, this project. As researchers, I think we have something new on the table. We have the data, we have the associations, we can become a very important stakeholder, not only at national level, at European level. We can use that FECIF White Book 2026. If it's distributed in here, I think we can put 26 because it's not actually we can change the White Book to this new year, and we can use the data in all our representation, distribute this very, very important White Book, and present the clear message in the recommendations. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Fernando. You're right about the 2026 edition. It's the 2025 now. We will probably have 2026 on the paper edition. This allows us to update some of the macro numbers. You know, it is. We're waiting for the cycle of publication on Eurostat and official data. So all this kind of macro data we're using in the current edition is probably back to the end of 2024, because the more recent data is not homogeneous throughout the countries, cannot be used. Hopefully we'll have more updated, we can update some of the numbers, but it's a never-ending job, as you well know. But yes, we'll try and keep it alive. Anyway, we will circulate that. Any reactions when you have more, when you have the chance to look at the White Book itself and how you want to use it, be very welcome.
Our idea as FECIF is to create, as Simon says, an event to Brussels in 2026 to speak with the European authorities on White Book, and also a lot of events into different nations in Europe, but not only in Europe, to speak with a lot of financial consultants on this, and why not on the national authorities of the nations. And for Circulate All, tomorrow morning we will have a board meeting, and Simon and me and the executive team have a lot of ideas to circulate this work, but it's important to have the consensus for all members. Okay, and after tomorrow, I think we can circulate this job and extract.
Yeah, we can circulate the document.
Yeah.
Just
After the board.
For internal use, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clear?
Right.
It's all clear? Do you want to read all the White Book? Because Simone, me, Catania Zanetto and company read a lot of pages.
Yeah, sometimes, well, you tell us. I'm sure there are things that we've missed in it. You know, it is you spend a month with your nose into a document, and you don't even realize you're living somewhere. So I'm sure you will find some canals to point out. Don't hesitate. It's good collective work. All errors are ours. Contribution is yours, and together we can make it a great. Not only a great tool, but also something that we can use in our discussions, in our advocacy discussions, both at the EU level and hopefully for you guys in your respective countries.
This is the first edition of White Book, and for the FECIF, we must have. Not in 2026, I hope, but in 2027, the second version of White Book. Why not?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
We'll make it an annual event.
Yeah.
Right. So, Fernando, you have your hand raised. Did you want to intervene?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Roger?
Very, very, very short. From my own experience, this type of White Book is extremely useful. I wouldn't do it annually because it would kill you, because it's so heavy. But a good rhythm could be something like every 3 years.
Yeah.
2 years is probably too difficult, but every 3 years, and if still too difficult, every 5 years. But it would be good to have a resilience in
revised
the
version. Yeah, no, the previous one was 2019, so we've left it a bit on the side. I agree with you.
But there was COVID, you know, and everything. It was a very special period of time. We have to take out COVID years, so you take out 3 years. And you get there.
Yeah.
But every 3 years would probably be a good idea, which would mean that the next one would be 2028. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll see you then. Right. Any other comments, questions?
No.
No? Well, then I know we had originally scheduled an hour. We thought it'd be a bit short for discussion, as we were right. So maybe we can release everybody to their busy schedules. Thank you very much for participating in this.
Thank you. Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I know we'll speak again soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Vanya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Simon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Simon.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you to all.
Thanks,
Ciao
everyone.
Ferruccio.
Ciao Vania, oggi ho ascoltato. Today I was a listener. Okay, next time I speak.
Yeah. The more the
Many
merrier.
thanks. Ciao Simon.
Ciao.
See you tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Yeah. See you in the morning.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye
Good
bye.
afternoon. Bye.